employing them demands that they have a driver's license, then they won't be allowed to drive.
Their jobs shouldn't be able to demand anything of them because they legally should not be allowed to be employed here because they shouldn't be able to have working papers because they shouldn't be able to be. They're not citizens of the United States.
They are.
I'm sure they're here. They're queer. They will not disappear.
And they're paying taxes.
How are they paying taxes? What are you talking about?
They're paying taxes out of their paycheck. I have friends who are undocumented workers that work in the city and they pay taxes. They're forced to pay taxes. They're illegal aliens and they're not allowed. They wouldn't be allowed to get this license and drive around. Not that he has a car, needs to, but
I've never heard of an illegal alien having to pay taxes on his paycheck. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah,
crazy.
Can we have a debate between you two guys next week, like with podiums and everything?
Nope, not a chance.
Awesome.
I'm ill-educated, stupid, and opinionated.
No, I'm not.
It would be pointless for me to have a...
Do you mean uneducated?
Whatever. Go vote for Hillary Clinton, you jerk.
Rudy's not going to win.
Watch him. Watch him. I guaranteed it.
Not after this Carrick stuff with the mob.
Guaranteed it.
He's going to have to testify for Carrick when he's in his...
Who's the president then? Who's winning?
Hillary or Barack is going to win.
Wrong.
Guaranteed.
Wrong.
Barack accepted Charles Barron's... what is it when somebody supports you?
Donation?
No, he's cheap, Charles Barron.
Pat on the back?
Yeah, his endorsement. So then and there, goodbye, Barack.
Anyone who becomes a Democrat is going to win this year.
Yeah, you think?
I'll bet on it.
Okay.
What
do you want to bet?
I don't know. Hitler.
$68,000.
Hitler wins the Democratic nomination.
I'll bet you $5 that the Democrat wins.
I'm not. Just Democrat versus Republican. It depends on who gets the nomination.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't see Hillary doing it. I don't see Barack doing it. I can't see either one of them doing it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Rudy.
What about this Ron Paul guy? What's going on with him?
Ron Paul's terrific in a lot of respects and hideous in a lot of others.
I don't know much about him. Can you?
He's pro-life. He's anti-Federal Reserve. He
hates abortion, gays, and war.
Yeah, exactly. Like socially, he's probably against what you're believing,
right.
but politically, he's probably for.
Family values and all.
There's a lot of other things that he is for that you're probably kind of with.
What party?
I don't even know if he's independent or Republican.
He's a Republican.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a Republican platform, but I couldn't tell.
Not really, because a lot of
socially he's pretty much like the rest of the Republicans.
Fiscally and politically he's really not Republican.
Fiscally he's a libertarian, which is basically like Republican, more
like
right
Republicans were intended to be.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. He holds no water. He holds no water. Like I said, he's great in a lot of respects, and he's hideous in a lot of respects. So.
If the guy that used to be the governor of Alaska wasn't such a lunatic, he would be
Kucinich?
on certain things. No.
Yes, Kucinich.
Kucinich is the maniac. He was saying he saw UFOs the other day.
What was wrong with that?
Well, he did.
He's got a hot wife.
Dude, he is crazy. Who's the guy from Alaska?
He tried to back his way out of that as much as he possibly could. That wasn't him. That was the people who they quoted a line out of a Shirley MacLaine book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like so they put it up on the podium and posed the question. So in Shirley MacLaine's latest book, she said that you saw a UFO and it changed your life. And what do you have to say about that? Yeah, I saw a UFO, but all that other crazy talk is just crazy talk. It was an unidentified flying object. That's it.
Yeah, I saw
unidentified.
I saw fried green tomatoes. That's about as close as I'm going to talk about this whole thing.
He did. He tried to back his way from it, and you could see the press just running out of the room, on the phones with their.
We're coming close to the end of the show, so I want to just start like rapid fire, getting through everything you feel like you needed to get out to for today's show. What do you got? Spit it.
Well, I'd at least like to say rest in peace to Norman Mailer. Have we briefly touched on that?
I didn't even think that we mentioned it. I heard that Herman Mailer was acknowledged
that's
before.
Right, his brother.
That's about it.
2 Pulitzer Prize, one Pulitzer Prize twice.
It's weird because I'm actually reading 2 of his books right now, and one of them is very kind of like open, expressive. It's called The Spooky Art, and it's about like his experience with writing, and it's sort of like
a retrospective almost, yeah.
But he's super critical about himself, and you get the feeling when you read stuff by him that he's like a buddy or a pal. He's on your side. Very colorful language and easy to read. You burn right through it. And this is the first time that like someone died, like an author died while I was reading his book. And I know there shouldn't be any kind of weird attachment there, but it's kind of
course there is.
Bizarre.
Of course there is.
I actually saw it happen on the news, and I was choked up a little bit.
Who's better, Norman Mailer or Walt Whitman?
Who would win in a fight?
I think Norman Mailer could outdrink Walt Whitman.
Very good.
I never read a Norman Mailer book. I've only read stuff that he did, like in the New Yorker and like stuff in
All
like
of his
Rolling
reporting
Stone
and
magazine.
stuff. He was in your favorite movie.
He was in my favorite movie, Spaceballs.
When We Were Kings.
Oh, sorry, right. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the short, the short, more essay and reporting piece stuff that he did, but I never read a book of his.
Naked and the Dead.
Sorry,
is actually his first book. It won him the.
I'll look into it. I'll look into it. I hardly knew you. Say goodbye.
He also was one of the founders of the Village Voice.
Was he really?
Amongst other things, yeah.
Doesn't our buddy John do some freelance work
John
for
is
them
now
now?
working.
Johnny. He did biographies on Picasso, Lee Harvey Oswald, and Marilyn Monroe, which was a little bit of an uproar because he was the first one who suggested that she was murdered by the FBI and the CIA.
Did he have some kind of relationship with her too, or like some kind of weird?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe not sexual, but like some kind of... There you go, Norman.
One of his later books was The Gospel According to the Sun, which was sort of a Jesus' version of the New Testament. It was pretty good.
Interesting. Well,
he also did The White Negro.
Oh boy,
bro,
Like
Come on,
dogs?
learn from dog. Learn from dog, please.
sensitive time. You can't talk about things like that. Next, go rattle them off. Bang it out.
I got more.
NewYorkGirlOfMyDreams.com, NewYorkGirlOfMyDreams.com. Patrick Moberg, 21-year-old kid, saw a girl on the 5 train last week, fell in love with her, and put up this website because he wants to hook up with her and meet her. He was enamored with her rosy cheeks, and this awful stick drawing that he has on his website is something to take a look at. Yeah, I think in other countries, or even in a different time, this is called stalking, and you're a creep, and I hate you,
But he
Patrick
landed
Moberg.
her. Right?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he landed. She
no-
called back. They finally found, and they're going out on a coffee date or something.
That's great. She should throw that hot coffee in his face and say, "Don't look at me again, you creep."
I heard Conan's stalker priest. They're going out for dinner tomorrow night too. No, yeah, Conan has a stalker, and he's a priest, a dude. But I don't know. I don't know if he's been arrested or whatever.
Well, I hope he makes out like a bandit. I hope he makes out.
No, he's a priest.
Oh, so I hope he makes out like a communion line or something.
Can we talk about aquadots?
What would you like to talk?
Do you know
about?
anything about this?
No.
Oh,
I
this is
do.
great. I love this story.
Go ahead, tell it.
It's like it's a toy. Let me see how they market it.
It's a kid's
Beads
toy.
that can be arranged into designs and fused when sprayed with water. So these little tiny plastic BB pellets that you put into a gun and you put out on a little tray, and then you spray water on them, and they kind of blend together, and hey, make a nice little art design. But you've got little blue beads and red ones and green ones, and I mean clearly you give them to a kid and they're gonna shove it right in their mouth. And apparently, a couple of kids went to the hospital afterwards, is getting sick and going unconscious, and it just got recalled. I think the day before yesterday, because they found out that the body metabolizes it into GBH, which is the date rape drug. That just sort of happens.
Please tell me someone has a ton of it. I will down a ton of these pills.
And it's called Aquadots. It's such the raver name for the drug toy. Oh, it's just beautiful.
Color in the sky, Prussian blue.
And it looks like candy. The kids are just going to immediately put it in their mouth.
The date rape toy from Hasbro.
Play by yourself. It's
love
safer.
It. It's on the heels of all these Chinese toys that have lead paint in them, and everyone's getting panicky, and all of a sudden, the body metabolizes it to the date rape drug.
I'm a tremendous fan.
Oh, can we give Chris some and he can do some poetry?
I would love it. Right before I go watch football, I just want to throw out there that in Alicante, Spain, there's a lawyer that pleaded to the officials, to the judge, in a drunk driving case. Please let my client drink and prove that he can drive drunk, and he does not. He does not need to serve these to have these charges held against him. Kudos to you. I think that's the greatest thing in the world, because you know what? There are some people in the world who can drink and drive.
One of them sitting in this room.
Granted, I'm not one of them, but there are people who can drink and drive and people who can't. Does anyone have outro music, by the way?
Yeah,
Do
I
you even
got
think
some.
about anything like that? Awesome. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about before?
There's a song in the Da Vinci Code.